All right, BlakGooseTV family. So this particular topic, you know what I'm saying, it's gonna be something I feel like not a lot of boxing community people is gonna be really on me speculating on, analyzing, getting to the nitty gritty of. I'm not saying I'm gonna go deep, deep, deep into the subject, but I did want to go ahead and touch on it because Shane Mosley Jr. is a guy that I've been watching for a while, obviously because he is the son of the legendary Shane Mosley. But if you guys check out the Fluence Lounge from yesterday that I did with Zen, you know what I'm saying, that is obviously in the YouTube channel. So go ahead and check that out if you guys haven't. But Shane Mosley is someone that, if you are a fan of boxing, you know about him, you watched him, but you never expected much. Does that make sense? This is no disrespect towards Shane Mosley. This is me being 100. Look, watching him come up in the world of boxing, you would watch him, at least me personally, when I would see him fight, I would be impressed. He has all the athleticism in the world. He's a big boy. He has, a great athleticism or athletic features when it comes to the weight class that he fights at that he can utilize to his advantage. But there was always something missing, in my opinion. And I always felt like he could be a solid fighter, but I never felt like he can get to the upper echelons or at least get a title shot, in my personal opinion. Well, in the last, I want to say 2.5 years, I've seen him just constantly prove me wrong and make leaps and bounds when it comes to his skill set and how he boxes and his dedication and just how he's looked and the comfortability he's shown in the ring. And this last fight that he had yesterday against Rosado really made me go, really finally, be like, okay, Mosley Jr. actually, he might be able to get a shot at the world title. Now, I don't know if he would ever actually be able to be a champ at 168, but I do think he has a possibility to actually, have a chance at, at least fighting for the world title, something I did not think would be a possibility for him just from what I saw and just using the eye test and from, the fights that he had. But obviously in his last two fights before Rosado, he looked amazing, but I still saw things where I was like, he gets hit a little bit too much, and it shouldn't be the case, especially with him having such longer athletic features than his opponents. He should be able to understand that he can put himself in a position where he can hit his opponent and not be hit because of his reach. But with me seeing that, and also I thought his defense was always a little suspect. I just didn't think he would be able to get to the point where, maybe he can talk about, hey, I want a title shot at 168. But after seeing him against Rosado last night, I've changed everything. That was the best I've ever seen him. Sometimes some people do talk about, hey, you rise to the occasion, or, I'm saying, you rise to the level of your opponent. So sometimes when your opponent isn't that good, you'll fight at his level. But when your opponent is leaps of bounds, or how important this fight is, you're gonna really bring it, you bring it, or really raise your level of your skill set, or how you perform, to make sure that not only do you exceed expectations, but you go above and beyond. That's what I saw from Shane Mosley last night. That's what I saw from him when he was fighting Rosado, because obviously Rosado is a very, very solid opponent. He's someone who's very well respected. You know what I'm saying? He fought some of the best, beat some of the best, gave some of the best, some of their hardest fights. And Mosley Jr., what he was able to do, regardless of what you guys want to chalk it up to, maybe some may say Rosado was over the hill, whatever it may be. I don't believe that, because he just had a resurgence in the sport this past 6 to 12 months. So I think this is a big, big, big win by Shane Mosley Jr. And I think also Rosado and his team probably thought this was a fight that they could win, and they were probably surprised a little bit by it itself, because I know I was watching it. So I just want to read a little bit of this article, maybe get an idea of what's next for Shane Mosley Jr., give him his props, give him his just due, and say, hey, I didn't expect you to do this. And the fact that you did it, I'm going to be watching you a lot more closer. I was watching you closely before, but I didn't expect you to get to the point. So I would like to see you against, at least some type of name, at least one time, because that would be a beautiful thing, especially, at who your father is. But let's read this a little bit. So, veteran super middleweight Shane Mosley, 18 to 14 KOs, put off a surprising 10-round majority decision against former two-time world title challenger Gabriel Rosado, 26 to 15 last Saturday, to snatch the WBA Continental America 168 title from the gatekeeper. So, with that being said, let's see what Shane Mosley had to say about the particular fight. Of course, when he saw that it was getting further and further away, he wanted me to sit and bang with him, and that's a better thing to do. Why would I do that? Shane Mosley said, I'm ahead. I'm going to keep my lead. I'm not going to get in your game. I don't need to knock you out. I need to win. And that's why I got this WBA Continental American Super Middleweight title. I felt good in there. I stuck to the game plan. I knew if I kept my speed, my IQ, my boxing, he couldn't beat me. Obviously, Rosado said, come on, man, because he wanted me to bang. But why would I do that? In my opinion, in the 10th round, I was beating you by 9 rounds. So why would I bang with you for what? In the last part of the 10th round, I almost stopped him. So I was like, I don't need that. My thing was being smart, being focused, and worrying about the game plan and sticking to that. Don't get into this veteran stuff. Don't get in the back of the head or anything like that. He's a crafty guy. That's why a guy like Beck the Bully gets knocked out by him, right? Yes. Absolutely. He has power. He punches hard. He's strong physically. If I engage with that, he's going to beat me. So why would I do that? I can call that. So right away, Shane Mosley saying all the right things. And obviously, you know what I'm saying, that comes from him being in camp and having the right people around him. And also, you know, obviously over and over drilling certain things and understanding what he has to do and sticking to the game plan is usually the best decision. So I got nothing but respect for Shane Mosley Jr. It was a great win in my opinion. But what's next for him at 168? You know what I'm saying? What's next for him? Obviously, I don't think he's at the upper echelon, you know, level of those other 168ers, but I would like to see him at least give a chance to, you know, fight one of these bigger names. Maybe Jaime Mwangi, that would be a fight I would like to see. Jaime Mwangi versus Shane Mosley Jr. Possibly, who knows? You know, if Jaime Mwangi does want to move up to 168, obviously, you know, he's not at 168, but I feel like that would be a fight maybe we could make happen. But I'd be interested to see what's next for Shane Mosley. Either way, man, much, you know, salute to you, props to you, respect to you. I want to go ahead and drop this video to show you that, hey, I seen the progress, I seen where you at, I seen where you going, and I ain't gonna let that shit slide in the carpet. When it comes to Black Goose TV family, you know what I'm saying? We give love to everything. You know what I'm saying? That especially that deserves it. So salute to you, man. As always, Black Goose TV family, let me know what y'all think about this particular video that I just dropped. What do you guys think is next for Shane Mosley Jr.? Who would you like to see him fight? Were you impressed by his performance, or you think he should have just beat Rosado? Let me know. Am I hyping this a little bit too much? Because y'all know I can hype some shit. I want to hear from y'all. Drop in the comments below. Like the video, subscribe. I'm out of here.